Okay, so I gave the heart a wash. So after the wash, the right atrium is clean, and still there is blood clot. Anyway, so we open up the right ventricle. So on the inside of the right ventricle, as you know, there are two parts. It has got a rough inflow part and a smooth outflow part. The rough inflow part is called the ventricle proper, and it consists of the atrioventricular orifice, that is right atrioventricular orifice, the tricuspid orifice, and the cusps, the three cusps here. Okay, and then it has got the chordae tendineae. These are the chordae tendineae, the strings are the chordae tendineae, and the papillary muscles, and the trabeculae carneae. So all this constitute the rough inflow tract of the right ventricle, and the smooth outflow tract of the right ventricle is called the infundibulum. So here is the infundibulum, this one is the infundibulum here, and this infundibulum is also known as the truncus arteriosus, the conus arteriosus, and it passes and then it becomes the pulmonary trunk, or becomes continuous with the pulmonary trunk. Okay, the conus arteriosus. So what separates the rough and the smooth parts? Separating the rough and the smooth parts of the right ventricle is the supraventricular crest. Okay, supraventricular crest. Let's see if you can see the supraventricular crest. So supraventricular crest is actually a subendocardial elevation or ridge, you can call it a ridge, that's a part of trabeculae carneae. So over here, this elevation, this is the supraventricular crest. Okay, this is a supraventricular crest that separates the smooth outflow tract and the rough inflow tract of the right ventricle. All right, so this part here, this is the part of the interventricular septum. The interventricular septum. So this area, this is the clear demarcation. This is the area where you have the supraventricular crest. This supraventricular crest is going to separate the smooth and the rough parts from each other. Okay, so what is in the rough parts? Like I mentioned, there is going to be the tricuspid orifice. This is the tricuspid orifice here. Okay, the tricuspid orifice, it can accommodate tips of 3 fingers. Okay, and it communicates the right ventricle and the right atrium with each other. So the tricuspid orifice, right, and its circumference is about 10 to 12 centimeters. The entire circumference is 10 to 12 centimeters, and around the tricuspid orifice there is going to be this collagenous ring that is called tricuspid annulus. So attached to the tricuspid annulus are the bases of the cusps. So this is the tricuspid annulus passing around the orifice, and attached to the tricuspid annulus is the cusps. So you have the cusps here, 3 cusps, because it is tricuspid, it has got 3 cusps here. Okay, right, and then succeeding we have the chordae tendineae here. These are the chordae tendineae. This chordae tendineae will be attached to the papillary muscles. Okay, so these are the parts, and then we also have the trabeculae carneae, all these trabeculae carneae. So now let's discuss each one of this in detail, little bit detail. So we see the tricuspid orifice. This orifice has got a collagenous ring that passes around this orifice. This collagenous ring actually gives attachment to the base of the cusp. So the cusp is a triangular shaped structure, as you all know. It is a triangular shaped structure. Each cusp is a triangle shaped structure. So this triangle shaped cusp. Maybe I can show the cusp in some other specimen because I do not want to damage this completely. So here this one is the cusp. We can see this is the cusp. So you have three cusps here. So how you name the cusps? These cusps are named according to their positions. So we have the anterior cusp. This one is the anterior cusp. We have the posterior cusp and we have the septal cusp. These are the cusps. So tricuspid. So we can see three cusps: anterior, posterior and septal cusps. The cusp has got a attached margin and a free margin. The attached margin of the cusp, it is triangular. Please see a picture. So it is triangular in shape. The base of the triangular cusp is attached along the tricuspid annulus, and it has got a free margin. The free margin is projecting into the ventricle, and this free margin gives attachment to the chordae. These are the chordae here, the string like, very slender string like structure. So the attached border attaches the tricuspid annulus and the free margin is attached to the chordae tendineae, these chordae tendineae. Each cusp, out of these cusps, the anterior cusp is smallest. The anterior cusp is the largest and the septal cusp is the smallest. So this is the anterior cusp, it is largest cusp, okay. Is the posterior cusp and the septal cusp. The septal cusp is smallest, anterior cusp is largest. So apart from the attached margin and the free margin, each cusp has got zones. 3 zones are present. This zone is actually in between. So in this area, so it is actually obscured. Look at some pictures, you will be able to identify these regions. So what are the regions in a cusp? So the cusp has got, that is the ventricular surface of the cusp. Each cusp has got 3 zones. It's called the rough zone, clear zone and the basal zone. Okay, so rough zone, clear zone and basal zone. So that is from the free margin towards the attached margin, the zones are rough zone, clear zone and basal zone. So this is the rough zone. Rough zone is the area where the chordae tendineae are attached. This is the rough zone. And there is a clear zone. Clear zone is devoid of any chordae. So chordae are not attached to the clear zone. And then the basal zones. Basal zones are very close to the circumference of the atrioventricular orifice. Or this where you have the collagenous ring. That's where you have the basal zone. So this is the part of the cusp. So cusp is triangular in shape, has got a base that is attached to the tricuspid orifice here along the collagenous ring, and it has got a free margin. The free margin gives attachment to the chordae tendineae, and in between the free margin and the attached margin it has got a rough zone, clear zone and basal zone, RCB. Okay, so during the IPL it is very easy to remember RCB. So rough zone, clear zone and basal zone. The rough zone gives attachment to the chordae tendineae, and the clear zone is devoid of any chordae attachment, and it has got a basal zone. Okay, the basal zone gives attachment to the basal chordae. The rough zone gives attachment to rough zone chordae, and clear zone, of course, there are no chordae tendineae attached. In addition, the posterior cusp here, this one, the posterior cusp has got 2 clefts. Okay, the anterior does not have. The posterior cleft has got, posterior cusp has got 2 clefts. Okay, so 3 clefts and scallops. So these clefts also going to give attachment to what is called the chordae tendineae. They are called the cleft chordae, and the junctions between the cusps are named as anteroposterior commissure, anteroseptal commissure and posteroseptal commissure. Those are the junctions. So this is the junction which is called as the commissure. So this is the posteroseptal commissure. This is the anteroposterior commissure. This is anteroseptal commissure. Okay.